Hello there and welcome to the Windkiller channel once again. I've been AFK for a while, but I think it's time for another battle report. Alright, so let's get right into it. And today's opponent is a very veteran player from the Danish ETC team. An old friend of mine, he plays the Spanish. With the following list, Wizard, Wizard Master with the Cosmology and Script of Power, and Wizard and Arcane Engine, who is an apprentice of Alchemy. The Prelate with the Kingslayer, and the Knight Commander, General Witchguard, Witchfire Guard, and the Light of the Sunstal. And a Marshal who's a BSB with the Flaming Banner, and a Black Steel, and 13 Electoral Cavalry, who has the Knightly Order Cavalry pick, and some small units, 18 Light Infantry with crossbows, 20 Infantry with supporting unit, and 10 militia, and 6 griffin on the sun, 6 knights of the sun griffins, banner of discipline, 5 raiders, and 5 imperial rangers with artillery and steam tanks. My list was the one you've seen before. Is the one I participate in 3 tournaments with at the moment. I think it's a strong list actually, and I fixed it. I updated it, so now I have the crocodile skin, the crocodile, and hand weapon and shield and crocodile. So they are really good anvils. They're pretty tanky. Anyway, just a few words about my opponent's list here. I initially looking at it, I think it's a really strong list. It has a lot of. I don't know how deals with other lists. I could imagine maybe it's not so good against wood elves or similar fast armies, maybe demons or something like that. But at least against me, it was. I felt he had a really good list against me. The let me just be fair. He played it really. He was really hard to play against. The list, as I mentioned, it has 2 big blocks, and they work well together. I think because they're both fairly quick, combined with some great chaffs, and combined with some really good shooting. And if so, give him to Tor, and if played correctly. The shooting phase is just a nightmare. I mean, with the cosmology altered sight and the fire and ice, or whatever the fireball with reroll to armor save is called, combined with 20 crossbows, with who gets the order or whatever it's called from the base. You can give out like 3 orders or something where you can get accurate or something like that. So they hit on 4s. So suddenly these 18 light infantry crossbows men are just killers. They're just really good at shooting, combined with 2 cannons, and the raiders riders with pistols, really good at chaff. So the list has a really good amount of chaff and really strong shooting. And then it has a really big the boss. I mean, it's I thought it was stronger than it was, and I think if you can manage to divert it properly, you can properly take down the boss. At least it's not impossible. It's not that strong. While it being really strong, it's not insanely strong. At least that was my impression from playing this today. Anyway, let's jump right into it, shall we, and see how it goes. It was the Encircle and King of the Hill, right? And I do believe the 2 chosen Oh yeah, the King of the Hill and Encircle. This is. Or am I mistaken? I think it was Martin Collins we played. Because it looks suspiciously a lot like we played Martin Collins because we both placed in a weird in a weird position. So yeah, I don't mind that. So I think maybe we play the in March Martin Collins with the spoilers of wars, judging from the pictures here. Uh, so this is the how we decided to deploy. A few thoughts about it. My idea was the original idea. Let me just talk about my idea here. The idea was that I wanted to keep the griffins out of combat, and I thought I could do that with my Pterococtus and 15 Saurian. No, I placed my Saurian first, and then when I saw he placed the Griffins, I placed my Pterococtus, and I was hoping that it could deal with them. It could take care of them, and then potentially at some point set up a flank charge on them with the Caimans here. And then to deal with the main big knight unit, I plan to chaff him off for as long as possible, and then I will take the steam tank down with my Caimans, and then I will try and like proceed in a direction like this, and then at some point I would be able to move up. When I couldn't chaff him up anymore, I could move up my temple guards in front of him and maybe do some kind of magic on them to make them able of taking the charge better, get behind this fence here, or something like that, and then maybe move up my Saurian warriors to join the flank attack as well. That was the plan here, and the plan was actually to play defensive and just try and shoot him down, use my alchemy spells to take out the steam tank, use my ranged, my sparkling of creation, my heretic spells to check out the wizard on the whatever that's called, the compendium, arcane compendium, the chariot, and then pray that his cannons wouldn't make food out of my Pterococtus. Looking back at it, I will talk about it when after the game. But looking back at it, I think I approached the game totally wrong. It was my second game against the Stalicia or whatever they call, and my first game was, I think, against a less good players. So I didn't get to see how good and how efficient they are at shooting. They're really good at shooting. Yeah. But with those words, let's get into it. See the next picture here. So how does it go? I decide to drop to give him first, I think. Am I? Yeah, I give him first turn, which I think is a mistake, but not a retarded idea. But the idea was that then I would maybe have my last turn to clean up or to see where he decided to press on or something like that. I can't really remember why I didn't pick the first turn, but I didn't. Anyway, he moves forward here. He moves forward a bit with his steam tank here, and he puts him within a charge of 9 with my Caimans here, which is a pretty delicious charge here. Apart from that, he does his magic and shooting, and let me just say, this shooting and magic it hurts. Let me just see what happens here. After his shooting and magic phase, I think he removed 1 with the 18 crossbow fires. He removed 3 wounds on the Caimans. No, 4 wounds. No, it looks like 4 wounds on the Caimans, right? And I have what, 20 in total. I have what, 15 from start. I mean, they only have 3 turns to live. Against 18 crossbowmen, my caimans just disappear, vaporize. And I think his cannons have a bad first turn. But obviously, you could argue that I should have tried and hide my Terracoctus from not being able to, taking the first turn of shooting. Looking back, I don't think I played the game all that well, but anyway. Here's the idea, at least for me, is that I should have taken the first turn, and then I should have just moved up the battle line up to here, I think. And then I would have to take the charge from the Griffins on my Terracoctus and pray I can do a 5 discipline. I can succeed a 5+ discipline test. It's not gonna be easy, but if I can hold it for 1 turn, then maybe I could do something. And then I could move up, chaff this one here, and press forward with my Temple Guards, press forward with my Saurian Warriors, and then press forward with my Caimans, and then hopefully generate like a line around here, and a possibility to chaff off the knight unit here for 1 or 2 turns. And also using my chaff real quickly, because it vaporizes if I don't use it real quickly. Anyway, let's see how the actual game went. So on my turn here, I get the charge in on the tanks over here, and I even get the regeneration buff on it. And next I get the and then to not take the militia charge here, I chaff him up with my chameleon skinks here, and then I chaff him up with the cause I feared this boss, and so I chaffed him up with my chameleon skinks here, which I think was a big mistake. I should put him maybe here, save him, or make him shoot at something else. And I moved back my, as you can see, I didn't move forward my Temple Guards, I barely moved my Saurian Warriors, I barely moved my Terracoctus, and I moved back my Caimans. So all in all, right, it was very defensive against a very hard shooting army. That's a big question, why did I not go more to war? But anyway, the idea why I moved the Caimans back was to force this guy here to at least, I think I put them outside of 30 inches or something, that he had to move to shoot him, if I recall correctly, or at least that was the idea, or I can't even remember. And then if he charged with the Griffin here, then because I didn't have enough movement to move out of range, so I couldn't move this way here. So looking back at it, I should just place them behind the hill here. But anyway, so my plan was actually just to flee if he was gonna charge it, make them fail charge, and then perhaps move this one here up and just get in the way, or keep standing behind the hill here. Just trying to delay this Griffin unit to join the fight, right? I moved my Salamander behind the because he shot the first Salamander first, so I moved my Salamander out of the way. God knows why, because I mean, if I was gonna try and save any of my units, it should probably be my Terracoctus. Really good in this matchup here, and try and burn something, or use them as chaff, or take a turn of shooting. With I don't know what the idea behind that was. Anyway, so the combat here goes. I get the I think he dispels my Spectral Blades and my first attempt to cast Healing Water, and then I get another Healing Water off on them. So the combat should probably be in my favor here. But I think I managed to do only 1 wound. Yes, I failed my fear test, so I only managed to do 1 wound. Yes, I managed to do only 1 wound, and his next turn is what we're looking at, right? So he charges the chameleon skinks to get off the chaff here on the left side here, and he charges with his griffins here, and I start running. So and that's about what he does in his moving phase, right? And then his shooting phase. His cannon. His cannon takes off completely, kills off. I think after 2 rounds he killed off the pterocopters. Gone. No more chaff. 5 hard target chameleon skinks. Gone. And then I chaffed myself for this one. So I'm out of anything. I don't have anything. I hide my 2 last spearbacks and salamander behind here. Just to put him forward next turn so he has something to shoot at. It's absolutely horrible. And the idea how to play this matchup, I think, is just to send all of it forward. Like send all my spearbacks forward, all my chameleon skinks. So you have hold on to her. So he has to choose between something, and I will be able to at least get some point in return for my investments here. I think that there's no way around it not to play this list offensive against this army here. Though it's not particularly pleasant. Anyway, so his turn, he just kills all the chaff, moves a little bit forward here, because he doesn't really need to put any pressures for now. And now I make a pretty big mistake here. This guy here is in reach of being able to charge my caimans in, and we can see here what happens next picture, right? So it's my turn. I think this turn here as well in the combat, I failed my fear test again with my caimans, and I managed to do like maybe I think 0 wound, maybe even 0 wound or 2 wounds. I can't remember. It has 3 wounds left. And then it's my turn, right? So I make another big mistake here. My turn here. For some reason I fear this big boss here. Obviously it's strong, but I think my Temple Guards could probably talk with it. And could probably do some damage to it. Anyway, I move up here. I move up my spearmen here, my Saurian warriors. Because I was thinking if I get behind this fence here, then even if I get charged, I have hand weapon and shield. And I'm behind a fence, a wall, so he will hit on 5+, right? That would be pretty decent. That should be a decent charge to take. But here I make a minor mistake, not a minor mistake, but I make a mistake. Like here, if he charges here with both his militias and his electrical knights here, he can place his knights here so that he can hit my Saurian Ancients, my Saurian warriors, with the overrun. Yes. And that's exactly what happened. I will say though, however, if you take a look here, I think I did 4 wounds to the steam tank on 4 rounds of combat, or 3.5 rounds of combat, and I think on average I should have killed it after 3 rounds. I should have killed it, I think, before it got to here. Anyway, I didn't do that. I think it would have been maybe a different game if I had managed to kill it, because if I could have secured this flank here with 4 caimans here, then maybe I could have pressured the knight unit here in a different manner, with maybe having some caimans moving up here, and he would have to be forced to chaff off my units a little bit more. But it's speculation, right? Yes, he charges here, and it goes pretty down south from now on here, right? He chaffs off my temple guards so they can't get the flank charge on them after the. He chaffs off my temple guards. He moves his griffin up to the hill here, so he's getting ready for charges. And now he's just all in, right? A nasty position here. Yes, so let's just see how it goes. He kills my, and I actually run 11 on my caimans, and he managed to run them down with the militia the heavy infantry guys, which was also a shame. Um, but probably not something that do too much. And again, this shooting phase here, I mean, like these 18 crossbow guys here, I think they just, and with a little bit of magic, I think they just took out the Caymans completely here, right? I mean, like there's no way in heaven that you can defend playing defensive against this list I'm playing against. You have to go to the face. I mean, like I'm just getting brutally murdered here. Yes. Anyway. So this is how it looks before my turn 3, I think. And my turn 3 here. I mean, if you think about it, right, it's actually not that bad, right? Du skal vente lidt. Det kommer nu. Det kommer. If you think about it, it's actually not too bad. Like I get know thy enemy, and very importantly, boosted version of Spectral Blade off on my Saurian warriors. So now I have the weapon skill 5. So I hit on 3s with the fatal blow or whatever you call it. And so I chaff off his griffins here, and I run forward with my Terracoctus here to hopefully try and join the battle over here. Maybe pressure the altar guy here. Because I mean, I could have probably chaff him here as well next turn. Maybe that was the idea why I started to hide my spearbags and salamander. It was I decided that this plan on the left side failed anyway, so I decided I needed more chaff to stop the griffins instead, and then try and bring some assistance over to the left side here. So how does it go? Yeah, I get off this. He has charge, right, and he has hatred, but he can only hit with what four of his guys, which of course is a lot. He activates. He has the burning, some kind of burning spells. Honestly, I have no clue what these Stannies, what kind of bounce spells they have and orders. I think you know, it's a very complicated army to play against. But anyway, yeah, it's in relation to the. There's a lot of going on. There's a lot of talk on the forum about rules are being too bloated, and I think this Danish is a great example of a lot of rules. At least I'm having a lot of trouble to follow what's going on. Anyway, so he's combat. So this is the combat, right? I think. This is the combat here. So I think he managed to only kill like 4 guys or something. His Lord fluffs a little bit. Warriors, and he's planning a flank attack here. Everything's starting to look so real dire here. It's lagging towards the end here, right? So, but here that's his turn, right? And then my turn here. I try to charge here because with my Saurian warriors here. I realize it's probably a very far-fetched charge, but I mean with hand weapon and shield and 4+ hit, everything can happen sometimes, and I'm pretty far behind already, right? So I'm hoping for something. I have 15 attacks. He has what, 12? He has 12 attacks, 12 strong attacks, right? Which hit on 3s, wound on 3s. No, they hit on 4s, right? So it's 6 hits, and then he wound on 3s, so 4 wounds, and I save on 6s. So maybe potentially maybe I only lose 3 from the hits, but then he also has the stomps, which I forgot about. But obviously he has stomps, right? But anyway, he charges here, I charge him here, and actually I end up winning the combat by 2 or something. So he's again down to a 6, potentially running on a 6, right? So here was another chance for me to pick up some good points here. However, it was probably already two. Yeah, right. So if I pick up these points here, then maybe I could try and make my Temple Guard survive somehow, and then maybe at least score a few points. No way I could get anywhere near a draw or anything like that, but maybe I could get like 5 points. Anyway, that's not how it's gonna go. The yeah, and I also get regeneration off on my Saurian warriors here, but he just turned on. He has a flaming banner in there, so he just turns on the flaming banner here. And the picture here is this. The picture you saw before here is misguiding, right? It's not how it's supposed to look. What's happening here? It's not how it's supposed to look. There's a. Yes, this is how it looks. I kill these guys, and so this is how it looks, right? I reformed some 10 wide with my 10 guards here, and I was probably tired or something. I wasn't thinking very good anymore, because now the steam tank could just roll up and hit me with a flanker charge. I mean, I could have, if I had wielded like say 4 or 5 degrees to the left side here, I could have had I could have forced him to do a front attack. So that was obviously not a very good idea. And then I think we agreed to call the game here. He managed to tumble down my Saurian warriors here, and my Saurian warriors on the other side flees as well here. And these guys dies here. And now I'm stuck with a steam tank here with AP 2, right? It's probably nothing's good gonna come from this, right? So this is the end of the game here, and we just agree that he kills it all. Because I think this is only by turn 4, and now I can just turn these around, prepare for flank charge here, and I'm distractive. It doesn't look. We agreed to finish the game here, right? So overall, a good game. I enjoyed the game, and the opponent, he's really strong. It didn't make a lot of room for EoS or anything. Anyway, looking back at how I was thinking, I was trying to evaluate how I could win the game. What I did wrong, because I felt it was just uphill from the very beginning. I felt it was really hard to play for me. So my conclusion was that I have maybe some kind of mental barrier that I thought this unit here was gonna be real fucking dangerous. But looking back at it, they are dangerous, right? But I can probably, if I can hold them, let's say 1 or 2 turns with my Temple Guards, and maybe they get like know thy enemy off, spectral blade off, then they can probably do a fair fight. They can probably kill some of these knights as well. And then I could advance with these 2 units here, because I think overall the Caymans should be a good charge into the steam tanks. At least it's the best I can charge into the steam tank in my army, right? So, and I mean, if I gone through on the left side here, things could have maybe changed. So I think it was correct, and I think I should have tried to move much more aggressively. I think I should move max maybe with my Temple Guards, my Pterococtus here as well, my Spearman here as well, my Saurian Warriors here as well, and then these guys here. And if his Griffins decided to charge something, they should take the charge, and then whatever's gonna be left, if he charges my Saurian here, then they take the charge, and then I will use my spear back to chaff them off by the next turn, and then my Pterococtus and my Caymans should proceed to move forward. and then the Chameleon Skinks should chaff off the knight here for one turn, and then maybe I should try and shoot him with something, and then I should try and aim to get into combat as quick as possible with my Caimans to the steam tanks, and then the Pterococtis here. See if he can hit a flank on the or see if he can reach these heavy infantry to hold hold them, so I can prepare a flank charge here with my Saurian warriors. But overall, as you can see, I draw a lot of blue lines. So overall, I think the right tactic would have been to be more aggressive, way more aggressive. Move everything forward so I could shoot. I could utilize whatever I had in my army for at least one turn. This way I played it here, I was just being blown away. There was no. I was just fucking. I was being butchered. So anyway, good game. A lesson learned, and looking back, actually in the future here, I was thinking that the channel will be expanded a little bit, and I will start maybe having like some kind of pod talk or whatever you call it, where we're trying to do some discussions about my obviously new book and the new rules and all the spoilers that's been coming out so far. Also tactics, army crafting, list crafting, all kind of things. I haven't really decided on all the small details yet, but hopefully we can expand the channel here a little bit to not only be about the battle reports, but something more, a little bit more spicy and flavors. Anyway, this is all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed it, and looking forward to do another one in the future. Actually, I had another game here. I don't think I'm gonna do a battle report about it, because I think it was an unlucky game, which sort of ruined the game from the early stages of the game. But let me just show you here. Let me just show for everyone who wanna have the last watch it. That was another game I played that was also not really fun. This game here, right? This was another game I played in the Cripple Roundabout tournament here against a fairly scary Wood Elf list, right? A lot of infantry, a lot of cavalry, and anyway, what happened was that I decided to try and chaff off these. No, not chaff off, but I decided to use my salamander here to try and shoot off, to try and get some juicy shoots on shot on his forest rangers, forest guard, or whatever they call. And then I could flee with him the next turn or something like that. And I decided to do that, and my 31 Saurian warriors decide to fail their cold-blooded leadership 8 and run off the map turn 1. Yeps. So from there the game was kinda downhill. I thought I lost all. Maybe I actually do a battle report, because I think it's actually an interesting game. Because my opponent thought he had a good matchup, and I think I also had a good matchup. So it would probably be interesting to analyze. Anyway, that's all I have. GG, and take care.